When the historians look back on the year 2020, they will probably scratch their heads and ask themselves, what went wrong? That would be the million-dollar question. Some people would be quick to blame these problems on our world leaders, how they put politics over countries to accumulate wealth and world power. Then there would be others who blame it on systems and protocols that have been put into place to separate and divide the populace for the purpose of manipulating our thoughts, our feelings, and our behaviors. But at the end of the day, they will probably agree that the global village's problems are the direct result of one thing: our inability to understand that the human race was created to be one tribe. Granted, each racial ethnic group has its own unique characteristics, but each is still part of the one tribe. But to be well as one tribe, members of these different and distinct racial ethnic groups must have a sense of solidarity, not supremacy, and they must be committed to thriving and surviving together as brothers and sisters on the only planet we have, Earth. Unfortunately for members of the Black Diaspora, we have been the world's punching bag for centuries now. While our Black ancestors and contemporaries have made much progress in recent times, we still have much to overcome. So my question to you today is, what does it mean to be a boss during turbulent times? To many, this symbol may not mean much, but to me it symbolizes an effort to give members of the Black diaspora a sense of solidarity. But this solidarity is not based on a desire to reign supreme over all other racial ethnic groups. No, it is an effort to instill heart or courage into a racial ethnic group that has never had an opportunity to see its past wounds fully heal because some of their siblings refused to acknowledge what they did to inflict these wounds. Moreover, these unenlightened siblings withhold their love because they had become too intoxicated on their privilege to apologize for what they did and commit to developing additional remedies to address ongoing problems. This right here is the boss seal. The vertical black bar represents the Black diaspora, the builders, the racial ethnic group that is endeavoring to heal from past wounds and overcome present day microaggressions while simultaneously showing the rest of the world who we are. The yellow box to the top right represents opportunity. The green box to the bottom right represents sustainable success. So what this means is members of the Black diaspora are the builders of opportunity and sustainable success. But to get there, we need knowledge, inspiration, and guidance in our pursuit of opportunity and sustainable success. We need ownership of all Black narratives, specifically the ones pertaining to our history, our excellence, and our achievement. And we need a more definitive understanding of the unique role Black people play in helping nations live up to their creeds. The Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King once said that he wanted to live in a nation where people are judged not by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. But to see that in this age, we must commit ourselves to the 6 pillars of character: trustworthiness, respect, responsibility, fairness, caring, and citizenship. But in order for this character to be moral, we must go one step forward by consistently bringing it into alignment with the fruit of the Spirit: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Some people claim that education is the key to success. I agree, but recent statistics show blacks lagging behind every other racial ethnic group except American Indian, Alaskan Natives when it comes to post-secondary education. A 2010 report produced by the Pew Research Center shows that only 21% of blacks graduated from college within 4 years, compared to 45% for whites and 50% for Asians. Another 14% of blacks graduated in 5 years, compared to another 15% for whites and 18% for Asians. After 6 years, another 5% of blacks graduated, compared to another 4% for whites and 6% for Asians. But how much is a person able to earn after graduating from college? Well, 2016 statistics show that full-time, year-round black workers, those between the ages of 25 and 34 years, earn less than all of the other racial ethnic groups at $33,700. The two highest earning racial ethnic groups were Asians at $54,600 and whites at $44,900. I have always been an Andre Crouch fan. The lyrics in one of his songs proclaim, "When a man has found a wife, he has found a good thing for his life." All I can say to that is yes. But marriage rates vary widely by race and ethnicity. According to another Pew Research Center report from 2010, only 33% of blacks are getting married, compared to 63% of Asians and 57% of whites. These statistics should be viewed as a wake-up call for members of the Black diaspora, especially the ones living in the United States. We have to be more committed to taking advantage of educational and vocational opportunities. After we accumulate wealth from being college educated and gainfully employed, we should then be committed to supporting the Black agenda through the creation of philanthropic opportunities. Earning a livable wage should be the goal of every member of the Black diaspora, but we have to be equally committed to marriage and parenting. Strong marital relations play major roles in promoting solidarity for racial ethnic groups. We contemporary blacks are the descendants of African kings and queens, so the time to start treating each other with more honor and more respect to preserve our marriages is now. And while black men and women are leaders in their own rights, black men need to step more boldly into their roles as providers and protectors. Parental leadership is important as well. Our black children should not have to seek role models outside their homes. These role models should exist within them. We black parents should endeavor to teach our children how to become great nurturers, great learners, great workers, and great leaders through both our words and actions. Members of the Black diaspora must remember where we came from. Our blood is connected to the African continent. Our ancestors were brought to Northern America from Africa against their wills in 1619 to serve as slaves. Our ancestors were freed on January 1st, 1863, after United States President Abraham Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation. However, because Black Texans didn't receive this news until June 19th, 1865, we honored them through the celebration of Juneteenth. After being freed, our ancestors' lives were adversely impacted by Jim Crow legislation, which was enacted by white Southern Democrat-dominated state legislatures to disenfranchise and remove political and economic gains made by Black people during the Reconstruction period. Members of the Black diaspora must remember what we achieved. O.W. Gurley and J.B. Stafford founded Black Wall Street, which was the home to over 600 Black-owned businesses in Tulsa, Oklahoma in 1906. Other thriving Black Wall Streets were developed and maintained in cities like Durham, North Carolina, Richmond, Virginia, Rosewood, Florida, and Birmingham, Alabama, to name only a few. The 20th century civil rights movement, which was Black founded and led, began before July 26, 1948, when President Harry Truman issued Executive Order 9981 to end segregation in the armed forces, until sometime after April 11, 1968, when President Lyndon B. Johnson signed the Civil Rights Act of 1968, also known as the Fair Housing Act, providing equal housing opportunity regardless of race, religion, or national origin. During the same period, Jim Crow laws were overturned by the Brown versus the Board of Education of Topeka, Kansas decision in 1954, the Civil Rights Act in 1964, and the Voting Rights Act in 1965. From the 1960s to the 1980s, actor, comedian, activist Dr. Wim H. Cosby, aka Bill Cosby, reigned supreme as the Black diaspora's television father, producing and or starring in shows like I Spy, Fat Albert and the Cosby Kids, Kids Say the Darndest Things, The Bill Cosby Show, and A Different World, to name only a few. These shows cast us Black people in more positive lights, providing all of us with a blueprint for building opportunity and sustaining success. At the height of his career, Dr. Cosby was so wealthy and influential that he was in a position to buy NBC Universal. In 1976, author Alex Haley published Roots, the Saga of an American Family. The book was adapted for television and televised on ABC in 1977. Senator Barack Hussein Obama, a Democrat from Illinois, became the first Black man to be elected President of the United States of America, serving 2 terms, 2008 to 2012 and 2012 to 2016. Members of the Black diaspora must know what we must overcome. White fear and resentment, criminalization of Black bodies, urban and rural poverty, low Black high school and college graduation rates, low marriage rate, high divorce rate, low Black employment rate, low number of Black executives seated at boardroom tables, low number of Black business owners and leaders, and voter suppression. Members of the Black diaspora must know what we must do. Encourage all members of the Black diaspora to acquire the knowledge, experiences, and skills that are needed to reclaim narratives surrounding Black history, Black excellence, and Black achievement. Provide the support, guidance, and mentorship to Black children, adolescents, and young adults that motivates them to excel at secondary or excel as secondary students to pursue and achieve post-secondary degrees and or certifications. Create training programs that focus on business ownership, i.e. entrepreneurship. Accept support from outside allies, but do not allow these allies to co-opt or discredit the Black agenda. Stress to Black parents why it is so important that they teach their children how to become great nurturers, great learners, great workers, and great leaders. And vote for leaders whose authenticity is derived from moral characters consistently being brought into alignment with the fruit of the Spirit.